Subnautica is a survival and horror game where you have to cure the planet from an infectious disease named Kara. However, in your way there are multiple Leviathans trying to stop your progress.
Oh my god, Jesus!
We will rank these Leviathans from worst to best. At number 12 we have the Glow Whale. Now this is one of my more controversial opinions, which is saying a lot, but I don't know, it's just the Glow Whale has never really fascinated me much, and it's not a very unique looking Leviathan. It looks very similar to whales in our real world. And also, I couldn't actually find a number of how many glow whales there are in Sector 0. However, from what I've seen in my own playthrough, there seems to be about 5 to 6 around the lily pad area. They're not that scary and can only be found in a few biomes, so that's why it's taking bottom place, considering that there's so many more ones. In fact, I would actually say this is the only Leviathan I really dislike. At number 11, the most controversial pick on this list is the Ice Worm. That's right, you heard me. The Ice Worm is probably my least favorite aggressive Leviathan. You know, when I first saw this in the trailers, I was actually really excited for what, a new Leviathan on land. You don't see that very often. But then when I actually got to the area when I was trying to retrieve Alan's body parts, Jesus fucking Christ, that was just awful.
No stalker. Yeah, this is the end. No. Oh my god! Jesus! Oh my god! No, I'm dead. How do I escape? I can't leave.
And also not to mention that this man made my snow fox fall into the ground and I had to walk back.
What? My fucking snow fox!
There's only one ice worm in the entire game. However, what I do like about it is that it's a very unique Leviathan and it's very scary when it does happen, but most of the time it's more annoying than scary. At number 10, we have another fan favorite, the Sea Dragon. This is my least favorite Leviathan from the original game, and yes, I do think it's worse than the Sea Treader and Vent Garden. There's only 3 Sea Dragons in the whole game, and their location makes it very late game, which I do like that, but it's at least with the Shadow Leviathan, you see it in 2 different biomes, which are, to be fair, late game. But with this one, it's only in one biome, the Lava Lakes, and I guess the Inactive Lava Zone, but I count that as one biome. It is really scary when you encounter it. I would probably say it's as scary as the Ice Worm, but just because I like it a bit more than the Ice Worm, it becomes at number 9. Okay, now at number 9, we have the Sea Treader. The Sea Treader is kind of a curveball to me. I've never really, seen a Sea Treader in-game. I've more just seen it from, playthroughs, 8-Bit Ryan and stuff. But I have seen it once before, and it really wasn't that interesting. It is pretty unique to the world of Subnautica, and its location's a bit weird because it's in between 3 biomes, so it kind of just is everywhere, and it's really not that scary. However, there is a lot of sea treaders. I believe there's 11 sea treaders on the map. It's quite a lot. I would say I personally enjoy it as much as the last 2, but just because I think it's a bit cooler, a bit more unique, I'm gonna put it at number 9. At number 8, we have the Vent Garden. This is definitely one of the most, if not the most unique Leviathan in Sector 0. It's really not that scary, and there's only 2 Vent Gardens on the entire map, and one of them is a juvenile and one is the adult. And its location is a bit strange. It's in the tree spires, which kind of makes sense if it's just in one location, but I do wish it was a bit more spread out. As for personal enjoyment, I absolutely love the Vent Garden. It's probably my 5th favorite. Personally, it's my 5th favorite Leviathan in the entire franchise. At number 7, we have another kind of controversial one, the Sea Emperor. While yes, the Sea Emperor is the most important for the story of the game, it's not really that important for gameplay wise, because it's very late game. In fact, yeah, it is actually in the final stages of the game, the finale, freeing the Sea Emperor, or not freeing her, just letting her eggs go. The Sea Emperor is, I would say, as unique as the Sea Dragon, very similar design. However, I think the sea dragon is a tiny bit more unique. The location kind of sucks since it's in a little ass cube box, and there are, I think, 5 juvenile sea emperors. I could be wrong though, it could be more or less. So, but just because of how much I love this one, it's gonna get 7th. At number 6 we have the Reefback. Definitely one of the most common peaceful leviathans in the game. Actually, yeah, it is the most common peaceful leviathan in the game. It's not that scary, however, it is very intimidating when you first see it. And the Reefback is like all over the map. You can find it in half the biomes. It's a pretty unique looking like creature for the planet. However, it's not like unique enough to be any further up. And I personally enjoy this one quite a lot since you see it so much, and it's just a delight to see. So that's why it's getting number 6. At number 5 we have the Void Chilicerite, or Chilicerite, however you say it. It's definitely one of the most terrifying experiences as in like the whole last game, because just going out into the void and then just seeing boom, big old fish coming at you. Okay, that's like half the creature, so. I only find this creature in the void, obviously, which does knock it down a couple points. However, its design is very unique, and it's personally one of my favorites in the whole franchise. So that's why it gets number 5. At number 4 we have the Shadow Leviathan. There's only 4 Shadow Leviathans in the whole map, so that does bump it down a couple points again. However, this is the second most scary Leviathan in the entire franchise for me. And also it's the Leviathan I've spent the most time with in any of the games.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Hello! Oh my god!
I would probably say about 4 hours down in the crystal caves just trying to battle this little shit. Its location is quite sparse, only found in the crystal caverns and the fabricator caves. It is pretty common to see one because there'll be 2 patrolling the entire area most of the time. Its design is extremely unique to like the rest of the world of Below Zero especially. You don't really see many things right there, clocking in at 65 meters, I believe. It is actually my 3rd favorite Leviathan of all time. Love this thing to death, so that's why it's getting number 4. Just barely missing out on the top 3. At number 3 we have the Chilicerite, and I'm just gonna say right now, my 2nd favorite in the entire series. Definitely the scariest Leviathan ever. I've only encountered this thing twice in my playthrough, and each time my heart rate was at like 150. Its numbers are very sparse, unfortunately, only 4 spawning on the whole map, which does knock it down a couple points. This would have been like number 2 or 1 if I had like 10 of them. However, it is not the Reaper Leviathan, unfortunately. At number 2 we have the Ghost Leviathan. There are 9 Ghost Leviathans in the whole map, 3 of them spawning in the Void, 3 of them in the Lost River, 2 in the Grand Reef, I think, and 1 in the Blood Kelp Trench. They are for sure one of the scariest Leviathans you can encounter, especially if you're out in the Void, where they can grow up to 100 meters long. Their location is pretty sparse, only spawning in the Void, the Lost River, the Grand Reef, and the Blood Kelp Trench, I think the north one. And their design is definitely one of the most unique out of any Leviathan in the entire series. It's definitely, I would say, the most unique Leviathan from the original game, just because of the translucent blue shit, and I love it so much. And at number 1, of course, we have the Reaper Leviathan. Who would have known? The Reaper Leviathan has the most Leviathans in any game. It has 25 Leviathans. It's definitely on the more scary side. It's not as scary as the Ghost or Chilicerite for me, though. It is really terrifying hearing a Reaper roar, though. You never forget your first Reaper. And it's yet again, it's a very unique looking Leviathan in the world of 4546B. And it's also one of my favorites of all time. That's why it comes out at number 1. If you guys disagree or agree with this tier list, go down to the comments and let me know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and Merry Christmas.